Well, big news in the airline industry. This is a very big deal. As you probably knew, that Southwest was getting around to charging for seats, and they have now come out with their menu, so to speak. So this is going to be a brief uh, little seminar on the new realities of Southwest Airlines and their seating options, and what happens if you hold one of the Southwest credit cards and how that might affect your seating options. For the record, it is the 29th of July. It's mid-afternoon here in Minnesota, and midday where Tommy Danielsen is in near Sacramento, California. So, Tommy, this is a this is a very this is a very big change for an airline that has relied for decades on bags fly free as their motto. Uh, and,
Yeah,
and,
the
and, and,
bags.
and and seats were just to you may have gotten a order for entering the plane, but once you got on, it was a free for all for the seats, and that's changing, isn't it?
Right. First, they changed. Well, they've alerted about this for a while with the new owners, not new owners, but a larger shareholder has taken a piece of Southwest, and they want Southwest to be making more money. And it doesn't appear that the bag changes has made them do that. They have downgraded their estimates for making money this year based on the fact that so obviously they were banking on bag fees to increase the revenue. It
Yep.
has created revenue, but they've lost revenue as a whole and profit as a whole because of that, because people seem to be doing flying other airlines because now they're kind of the same as everybody else, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
So now the plan is in January, charging for seats will
right, and that was
revenue.
that's hot off the presses today. That's why we decided to do it a little extra today. And I've taken a little peek around and read very little of what's happened out there. But I've read a little bit. I saw that happened today, and got alerted about it today. But we want to take a peek on three different things. One, what are the booking classes that are now available on the flight? All coach, of course, but there are different seats and different products that are included. Number two, what do you get included when you have a Southwest credit card? And three, what do you get included when you have status on Southwest?
And seat charges start January 27th, is it?
January 27th, it's the first day they're charging. So we're looking at January 28th is the date.
So they're selling tickets now for
yeah. So and they also, I saw this morning that 25% of the planes of Southwest fleets, which is a substantial amount of planes, so about 200 planes, has already gotten the extra legroom seat. So now in the first few rows, you will be able to grab a seat with a lot more legroom in the front of a Southwest plane. So for now, everybody, we have something called Jetway Jesus here in the U.S. It means that you can, with Southwest, they're very liberal when it comes to who gets to be or do early boarding. So if your leg hurts or your pants are on fire or things like that, you will be able to get a stamp on your boarding pass right now. And that's why you see people are being rolled on the plane with multiple wheelchairs. But when you get to the gate, all of a sudden, Jetway Jesus has done a miracle, and and all the wheelchairs are there, and the people have walked off themselves. That obviously will go away because there's no advantages to do it anymore. So it's probably going to improved their on-time performance significantly, but not until January 27th when this goes into effect. But without further ado, let's take a look a little bit about what has happened in the world so far. Well, first take a look at the announcements that was made on the 24th of July about their credit cards. So they have. They have various credit cards, and they have increased in price significantly. So you have the Southwest Rapid Rewards Plus credit cards has gone up from will go up from next year from $69 to $99, 43% increase. The Premier credit card which is the one I have, goes from $99 to $149, wow, which is the same price that my wife, who has the Priority credit card, from $140 is now $149. That will be the new price for for the Premier credit card, and her credit card will go from $149 to $229, which is a 54% increase. And then you have the business cards go from $99 to $149, and $199 to $299 for the performance one. What do you get for? We're not going to talk about benefits. We're only going to talk about seating benefits in this particular one. So with the card that
the high price card,
the high price, the Premier, the one that Melinda has, it gives us within you get a preferred seat at booking, you get a standard seat at booking, and you get the extra legroom seat within 48 hours of departure
at no charge, at no extra charge.
At no extra charge, yeah, and that also, as you can see, that also goes for. Where's my card? Premier business card, Premier card. So mine is here. Within 48 hours of departure, you get standard seat and stuff. Actually, that wasn't really. Well, we'll take a look at that when we get to it. So I did logged on to Southwest, and I was searching for. So I'm logged on as Melinda, who has the expensive credit card, and that also has and also has A-list status with them. So they're the medium tier. So they have 3 tiers. They have standard, which is anybody, and then you have the middle tier, and then you have.
This is for somebody with the middle level card.
This is for the highest level card,
but you're still paying for seats. It looks like.
Yeah, well, we'll take a look at that. So here are the different types of fares that they have, and the fares are basic, choice preferred, and extra. So extra is obviously the what's called business select as of today, and we're not going to go into the benefit because these are about the seats only, and it sees here. So it says seats assigned at check-in, standard seat included, which is behind the emergency exit all the way towards the back. Is a standard seat, and then you have the preferred seat, which is from the emergency exit forward for a few rows until you hit the extra legroom seats, which are in the front and also in the emergency exit.
But again, if you have the premium card, you don't pay those prices, right?
So we'll take a look first with Melinda, and we're going to choose the cheapest fare. So this is from Sacramento to Burbank, and as you can see here, A-list benefits, choose a preferred seat at booking. So she gets that because of her status. She gets her first bag free. Group 1 to 5 boarding. 1 to 5, I don't know what that means. 1 through 5. I mean, does that mean that she can board in group 1? I don't know. And then she can upgrade to upgrade to choice, but it says, you get, obviously that's a downgrade because preferred seat is better than standard seat. Right. And general boarding is after 1 through 5, right? And so this is what you kind of get, and you get a little bit more points and all that. But this is not about points. This is about seats. So we are going to skip the next step because then you will see her Rapid Rewards number and stuff, which is not good. So we're going to go to this thing here, which is the same flight from Sacramento to Burbank, and this is what the seats. So you have the basics. So this is a 737-700. They have blocked the last row of seats, which kind of makes sense, where they put the flight attendants with people who have children's traveling alone and stuff. They usually
is that
seated,
row 14 and 15? You mean? Is that what you mean?
Right
block?
here at the bottom is where they've blocked that row. Somebody's already taken some seats here, right?
I see. Okay, got it.
Or maybe they haven't. We don't know. Maybe they blocked these rows for whatever reason. But as you can see, Melinda can choose the preferred seats, which are here.
Dark blue, yeah.
Right? It's interesting that they have... So the little 2-seater here is usually where we sit on the 737-700. So I assume that they have not changed the legroom because it's not an extra legroom seat.
Right.
The extra legroom seats look like this. So this one has, indefinite legroom. And they must have moved the seat back a little bit because the legroom here in this row isn't really that good to begin with. So not sure about that, but, this is, and the extra legroom seats on the 737-700 is 6 rows. And for a flight that's an hour and 20 minutes, it goes from $57 to $51. So you pay 47. You pay 47 for a middle seat, which is kind of crazy. But that's how it looks like from Sacramento to Burbank. And we're going to try it in a logged off state after and see what it means. So meaning that she can pick a seat here, or she can pick one of the ones in the back. We would obviously, and she could also pick for me. So if she purchases for me, we would be picking those 2 emergency exit row seats, the 2-seater by ourselves, because we like to not have anybody next to us. That's what we usually pick.
Okay.
All right. So then I did a search for a longer flight to see the difference in price. And the longer flight, and it's kind of interesting here that the basic fare is not available on longer flights. Any of them. I looked at Baltimore, I looked at New York, and I looked at Chicago. This is Chicago from Sacramento to Midway on the nonstop flight, 737 MAX, which has a different layout in the emergency exit. You have two-seaters, which they want payment for here, which I think is kind of nuts because there's not a lot of leg room between here. So I don't know why the 700 has gotten away from that, unless they move the seats, which I highly doubt that they have, to be honest with you. And for the front, they have 5 rows of better legroom seats versus 6 on the 700, which doesn't make any sense to me.
They were $51 for the aisle. Here they're $91.
Correct. So it's $91 for the aisle, and in the emergency exit, it's $86. The cheapest seat is the middle in the emergency exit. These don't recline. This row doesn't recline. Neither does this. So I think it's kind of sporty that they're asking this kind of money for it, to be honest with you. But it's probably reduced pricing because of the lack of legroom and also the lack of recline. This row here reclines, but it has the same price as the other rows. But there is lack of leg room, except for this seat. I'm surprised this one is not 91. This is the best seat on the plane for those who fly Southwest a lot. So as you can see, she can pick seats. And here we don't have the advantage we have. The interesting thing is that, and we're going to get to that. We're trying to remember these prices when we do this in a logged off state. So that's kind of how it looks for the state on board. And while I log off, and is what I'm going to do next, we're going to see how people who don't have, I don't have status with Southwest, but it's difficult because I don't want to show my rapid rewards number here, right? Or I can actually have Natalie block that out. So you get a different view when I do it, right? So I have no status with Southwest, but I do have the
basic credit card.
I have the plus credit card, if you will. The second level. So we're going to search for that, and we're going to search for me with my account instead. And
are we doing a short route or a long route?
We're doing a Burbank to begin with first.
Okay. Sacramento to Burbank.
Right. So for me, it's you don't get, with the credit card, you don't get to pick a seat in advance. And let me just show the and I'm going to go open up a separate window for this particular flight so we can see, so my stuff doesn't show up. So if we remember how Burbank looked for Melinda, this is how
$51 for the front of the plane.
Correct. So here is how it looks for me. It's the same exact pricing, but as you can see, the preferred seats I have to pay for those.
Right. But up front, it's still 51. Okay. For the
correct. Front. And this is on the basic fare, right?
Right.
Basic fare. And standard seats are included with basic fare, and they're assigned at check-in. Now, it also said here on this particular one, it says that that's her benefits, but it says for me that you can choose with the credit card that I have that you can choose the preferred seats up to 48 hours
48 hours
before
before.
the flight.
Beginning 48 hours.
Before the flight. So 48 hours before. So that's obviously is a gig. So for me, it would be if I went and so obviously I can go and I can upgrade the fare by $30, and then I would be able to pick these seats.
Yeah,
right here.
So you'd buy a basic fare ticket, but for $30 you could get the next class up.
Right.
And what is it for? Is it 51 for the?
That's the same as you can see. It's the same as for Melinda. They don't give a discount to people who have status to buy those seats. You got to pay the whole thing. So I'm doing a basic fare, nothing included. The basic fares has very, very little included, right? But it's the same as you have now with the want to get away fare. You still get a flight credit. You can do a change each for the day and pay the difference in fare, same as now. Some of these have if we go back and we look at here, what's included in these fares when you look at it. The choice fare, that's $30 extra, gives you a standard seat, and at booking, choice preferred gives you a preferred at booking or any standard seat, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what you get. You don't get priority boarding anywhere at all for any sort of reason. You have to pay for that. And for the earning, you get more points and stuff. You get refundability. You get non-transferable flight credit, like it is now. I can get the credit back to me if I cancel the flight, and then I can reapply that credit, and with a 6 months things. So here, available with fare upgrade. I don't know if fare difference may apply. I don't know what this means, but at the end of the day, usually the way that it is that you pay the difference in fare right now for anybody, except for those who have the higher fares and stuff. Right. It says also here, free same-day changes and standby. I don't know what that means, because you can just ask for a refund at the airport and then just buy a new fare with that credit that gets issued to you immediately, right? So I don't know how you can't. It says that you can't do free same-day change. Maybe it's free, but because here it says fare difference may apply. And does it mean that you can do a same-day change for free? Maybe that's the story that you get, and you don't get that for the free. I assume that's what it is. So, in conclusion,
that's a lot more complicated, isn't it?
No, it's not really. It's fairly straightforward. I would say that obviously for me traveling with Melinda, I have no issues with we just book with her, and then you get a preferred seat at booking. Right. Is the extra legroom seats worth it for us? Not for the short flights, maybe for the longer one. Right. And as you can see, that you've had the upgrade to Business Select, where you can purchase. The credit card that she had 4 of those upgrades, where you went, meaning that you board in a group A 1 through 15, so Business Select. But it doesn't mean that here you could see that, and those cost for shorter flights $30, for longer flights up to $70.
And are they assigning any of the seats? For example, in basic, you just get on and pick a seat like the old days?
No. You get at check-in, you get assigned a seat. And I assume that
everybody does.
Everybody does, except if you have status or a credit card or have paid for a seat, then you have that.
But the average guy who just bought a ticket, doesn't have a Southwest credit card, has no status, will get an assigned seat at check-in.
Correct.
Okay. So there's no more.
So the way that it will look, when it comes to seats, the credit cards don't do anything for you unless you you have the one that costs $229 a year. Then you get a preferred seat at booking.
Yeah. You got
the other credit cards that most people have doesn't give you anything.
So you got to fly 4 or 5 times to make that worthwhile, probably.
In reality, yes.
In a year,
yeah. So the what they used to have is that you got those 4 upgrades to Business Select, meaning that you could board early, meaning that you can pick the best seats. That's what it used to be for the priority card that Melinda has, the one that was $140 now. Now it's $229, and for Melinda, it doesn't. That card does nothing for her because she can already pick a preferred seat because he has status. So if you have status, then the Rapid Rewards priority card makes very little sense.
Got it. Okay.
In my opinion, it does. Because there used to be, having status, meaning that usually you get to board with the A's. If you don't get to board with the A's, you get to board after the A's. And A groups is 60 people. So you have all of the freeloaders and the Jetway Jesuses, the pre-boarding. And then you have the A group, A1 through 15th right now. That's the Business Select people and people who purchase those upgrades to that. And then after that, you got the rest of the A group up until 60. And usually the A-list people, they get in there. And then after that, those 60 people have boarded plus pre-boarding. Then all the people with status gets to board before.
Boy, it's
families.
nice and confusing. Do you know how many? I mean, do you still have to fly the same number of flights to receive for premium, or have they upped the number of flights necessary to get premium?
Yeah. So the number of flights that you have to fly to get status hasn't changed.
Okay.
And so the way that you have, so that I blew it there. There was briefly for a second, my PNR showed up there for me. So you need to have 20 flights per year or 35,000 tier points. That's what you need.
Flights. Okay, got it. Okay.
So they made it a little easier to do it, and as you can see, priority boarding from flights on or before January 27th for flight departing on or after January 27th, boarding group will be no later than Group 5, which to me sounds late in the game. To be honest,
sounds to me late in the game too. What's the A-list preferred? Scroll down a little.
A-list preferred is 40 flights per year or 70,000 points.
That's 20 round trips. That's one every other week. Yeah, that's not going to happen for many people.
No, it's a tall order, right?
Yeah.
And here you can see that the top tiers they get boarding group will be no later than Group 2. We don't know what the groups are going to be just yet. We haven't heard anything about that.
Well, this is going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of negotiating going on at the gate, I think.
Yeah. So I think that Southwest has now become like everybody else, right? Minus a couple of things. No lounges, no first class, no food because they don't have ovens on their plane. So it's the same catering as the catering.
Not many Alliance members, so you have to collect your luggage if you're going overseas on some non-Alliance.
Right. They have started, and it'll be interesting in Chicago. We're hoping Southwest is going to be in Chicago at the Loyalty Summit. But we're trying to get Frank, the guy who runs the loyalty program for Iceland Air, to chat a little bit about. We're trying to get those guys on a panel to talk a little bit about
their
to talk about there because Southwest just made an announcement and that there's a new partnership that's going to be closer. So there might be Southwest flight going from the East Coast to Iceland. And then Iceland Air kind of gets people out in the rest of Europe. And Iceland is definitely within reach for a 737 MAX. I flew Iceland Air flies today to Portland on a 737 MAX because you kind of go over the North Pole. They also fly to Seattle on a 737 MAX. So it is within reach. It's much closer than you think. So Chicago to Iceland is like 5 hours.
Yeah.
So, and then you can hit the rest of Europe from there. So that'll be interesting to see. They are moving, and they also said the CEO made a statement late last week where they are considering doing lounges and they're considering doing long haul. And long haul, and
Well, when we find that out, you'll be the first to know. Well, this was a sort of short 25-minute little thing here. And,
yeah. But in conclusion, I think that what people need to know is that when you can purchase the basic fare and you can get a seat for free if you have the top credit card in preferred. I would not. I would buy the basic fare every time if I have the top credit card, because they're stating that it doesn't include this and that and whatever. You get a credit if you cancel the flight on the day with a basic fare. You will get all of your money as a credit back to your account that you can use again. And I don't see how they can enforce something. You can just buy a new ticket and then have the credit, or you can wait for the credit to appear. Maybe they are waiting a couple of days. Maybe that's how they're doing it. I don't know. But as the way it works now is that any fare that you have on Southwest, if you cancel it, you get it back as a credit, and it's instant. I can't believe that they're doing that to the customers that fly the basic product. So I would do that. I mean, that saves money for people who have status, and it saves money who has the $229 credit card,
Right.
for sure. And it won't take long for you to get that. It's interesting though for me that the 2-seater in the the only 2-seater on the entire plane on the 700s, and they've got a lot of 700s. Those 2 seats are free. Their preferred seats. So for us, I'm going to be looking for 700s all night long for that, and so we can be on that. But all in all, the seating situation, it's not extortionate. I mean, we see a United charging this kind of money for their seats in Economy Plus, even more than that. A long haul flight that's 7-8 hours between Chicago and London can be almost $200 to get an Economy Plus seat. It could be more than that. But here we're seeing the highest number. I did the longest flight that they have from here. It was 91.
Okay. All right. Remember, information is current as of 29th of July. Southwest might make little changes along the way, but when it comes January 27th, study up and see if you need to upgrade your credit card or not. If you fly Southwest a lot, it might be worth it. Thank you, Tommy.
Thanks, Rudy.
Okay.